Hey YouTube, thanks for stopping by the channel and thanks for clicking play today. Today we've got a good video for you. We're going to go over the total build cost to make over 1,000 real world horsepower in our 2009 Dodge Challenger. Now this car started life as an RT car. It was a 5.7 car. It was one of my good friend's cars, and he drove it 160,000 miles as a daily driver. Had very few issues with it. It's a great running car. Started to have some oil pressure problems. Didn't want to try to fix up the motor and then try to sell it, or sell it for somebody who wanted a project car. So we picked it up from him and we built this absolute monster with it. We'll go over all the pricing of the parts. We did a lot of work ourselves. Injected Engineering ended up finishing up the project, doing the tuning for us, the dyno tuning, and we'll get into all of that today. But if you guys haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Help us keep growing this channel. Help us keep bringing you good content like this. Help us keep bringing you these builds like this. It really helps us out with the channel. Let's get into this car today, guys. Okay, we're going to start with the outside of the car here real quickly. We actually picked up our rims, our Hellraiser HR5s from Brandon. He had a red Hellcat manual. I think it was like a 2016, something like that. But anyway, please, if you haven't checked out his channel, he's got some cool stuff on his channel. It's Brandon's Garages. But Brandon, so all we had to do was powder coat them. And we powder coated them. Matt Mummert did them for us here in Atlanta. He does a lot of high-end stuff. This Cadillac gray with a clear coat over it, so it should be very, very durable. It's got a really nice color. It's almost the graphite that's on my C8 Z06, but not quite. And then the paint for this car, you can see here, there's some flake in it as well. It's called Beautiful Black, I believe, is what Dodge's color is. But the black with the charcoal or the gray rims really sets off nice. So we did the rims first. These back rims came with the tires on there. We just had to pick up front tires for this, but we had the rims. We changed the brakes and rotors when we got it. We did it ourselves, so that's really not much of an issue. From the late model, like later generation rear end here on the taillights, I'll show you that when you guys get it, how that looks from the 2009. I got them blacked out, obviously, and then I put a Hellcat style spoiler on here. We have the factory exhaust minus the mufflers. We do have high flow cats on the long tube headers. It's a really, really good sound, actually. And then I did these emblems. I got those, and they're actually front grille, and I shaved the back of them, took things off, and mounted it on here because we're doing this as our SRT Ghoul clone here, because it does make over 1,000 real horsepower. And then you can see here we did the Ghoul emblems as well, which we painted. They turned out really nice. They were only a few bucks. One of the things else we did, we took off the 2009 grill, which that's still it. We taped it off, painted it, took all the Challenger RT emblems off, went ahead and put the SRT Ghoul emblem on the front. And then the last thing I need to do yet is put some plastic dip or something over that just to darken it out until I can change it out. We do have the factory style OEM Hellcat Red Eye hood, which was a great last edition. I am going to get that painted when I do paint correction on the rest of the car here. So we can't figure in the paint correction yet because we haven't painted it, but the hood was about 800 bucks. Wheels, I think 800 bucks I got from Brandon, something like that. So they're 1,600 bucks. Those are cosmetic, but I want to tell you what they are anyway. So going to the interior here, we didn't do much other than a lot of elbow grease, and I mean a lot of elbow grease. We did a rear seat delete in the back here, which was like 400 bucks. We have the Corbeau seats with the leather diamond stitching, which really set this interior off with this car, and they are very, very comfortable. I'll have to look up the price on those. I can't remember this, but they were about 1,200 bucks. And then we put red backing on the gauges in here. That was like 200 bucks, and then we did all the install. So we've done all this all ourselves so far on the outside here. And with the seats, we've done the install. We tore everything out. We did the rear seat delete. We've done everything. I actually cut the harness from the factory seats to put in so I could plug into and I put it on here for the seat belts and for that, so that way, because obviously you're not going to get the airbags, but that way you don't get an airbag light, but also that annoying fasten your seatbelt light or beeping doesn't continue when you get in there. I did not do the 8-ball shifter. I left that. That was Ben's, the original owner's thing, so I left that as a tribute to him. He already had a Barton short throw shifter in there, which is glorious. So I left that, and then I believe he'd already had the transmission done. All right, let's get into the go fast goodies on this, and that way we can go over the pricing. All right, so obviously this is the heart of the beast here. This is the Gen 5 3-liter Whipple in red. We had already had when Ben had switched the radiator, the red coolant tubes. We already had the Hotchkiss red sway bar there. So again, I love the black offset on the top of there with the Whipple and the red on the supercharger. Like, it's not just the lid either; it's the whole dang thing. That way, it goes with the black and red theme of the car. And then underneath that, which you guys can kind of see in here. I mean, and you can see the valve covers there. This is the MMX Ford Stroker motor. So it starts life as a 392 BGE block, and they put all the Go Fast goodies on there. I mean, I'm pulling this like right off the receipt here. Um, we have the BGE base 4.6 liter Hemi short block is where it starts. It's forged. It's got a crankshaft keyway balancer, ATI balancer, MMX main stud upgrades with machine work, MMX forged drop-in pistons and rods, ring-in gap setup for boost, new 6.4 Hemi crank, new 6.4 block, premium mod and main and rod bearings, full timing set for VVT cam bolt, coated rod bearings and premium mains, lifter set, Hellcat lifter set, and then a custom grind camshaft there. That's just kind of the beginning. We'll go over another thing, but you can see here the price for that right off the receipt, $18,230. So that's for the big bad boy stroker motor. We did do ported heads, like their race port as well. I don't know if that's included, but I'll add that if it's not. But continuing here on what we have 6.4 MLX head gaskets, MDS eliminator plugs, Manton push rods, Hellcat oil pump assembly. There it is, 392 Hemi C&C ported heads by Modern Muscle Performance. We have the new valve springs, ARP head studs, rocker assemblies. So that's kind of everything that we have there into this motor, okay? So we went all out. We were just going to stroke the 5.7 to the 392, but when we started looking at the cost, just getting a complete forged stroker motor to go from the 392 to the 426 from MMX ended up being the better solution for that, okay? Then, of course, we have the Whipple, 3-liter Gen 5 blower here with the red coating on it, or the red paint on it, and that is $12,770. That was with everything. All right. And then the last thing we did, big dog stuff, is we went with the level 4 FORE level 4 fuel system for E85. And it is the big dog fuel system. You're never going to need another fuel system as far as that goes. You have there, it's 1200 cc injectors, the L4 fuel system. It says return style fuel system capable of 1200 plus real world horsepower with triple pumps. We run one pump all the time, and then two pumps under boost load, intake pump, all of that, and that cost for that was $6,512. So basically on this is where we're at for the big dog stuff. Continue into the level 4 system. You saw the price there, okay? And then we have, again, this is what it includes. Huge, LX fuel pump, triple pump, 2-to-1 Y block, pressure regulator, 80 millimeter fuel filler, billet fuel oils, OEM regulator block off kits, check valves, all fittings, the hoses, all of the things. And that's what was included in that $6,700 price tag. And then the last thing on the invoice here is the tuning that Inject Engineering did for us, and it's $900 as far as the tuning for the, and they use HP tuners. So that's kind of where we're at. We're going to add up the total here in a second and see, but you can see back there, like the fuel blocks from 4. Okay, I mean, billet, everything. I mean, look at the size of those fuel lines. I can say my gas mileage is miles per gallon and not miles per gallon. When I'm on it, it's 6 miles a gallon. When I'm just driving normally, it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 because it is E85. But that is part of the reason why we were able to make more horsepower. The part of the induction system, we have the VMP throttle body, which was kind of part of this kit that we had spec'd out together. Thus the $12,000 price tag. So the VMP throttle body, and then this gorgeous carbon fiber coulter intake. Completely new accessory drive that comes with it. And this pulley here, we had to come down to this pulley. because we were making so much power it was just unusable. So on this bigger pulley here, the 3.25 pulley, this car makes 1,050 rear wheel horsepower on like 16 pounds of boost. I will put that graph in for you that we have from Injected for the dyno graph so you guys can see. Don't take my word for it. And we're going to get you a cold start here, get you some revs, get you some idle so you can kind of hear how this thing sounds. But that's the price, man. So we're going to add it up here, but I bet you we come in less than the price of a used Hellcat at the time when we bought this. I don't know, with the market dropping due to inflation and interest rates, whether or not we are going to be able to be used Hellcat territory now. But I mean, I've got Dodge Demon Plus power. This thing can make almost I think on the smallest pulley we had on, I think it made almost 1,400 horsepower to a 1,387 or something like that. But with this, as far as the bigger, the 3.25, which is a big pulley, we're still making 1,050 at the tire. The only other thing on the exterior I really need to do is I need to replace that with a black or a charcoal to match my wheels and go with the exterior theme. And then I'll do a paint correction and have the hood painted as well. Let's start crunching these numbers so we can get a total and see where we're at. All right, YouTube, so I broke out the calculator. I don't really do math. Here's what we have. $38,413 for the supercharger with the install, with a level 4 Big Daddy fuel system, the 426 stroker from MMX. So everything performance-wise, go fast parts. Oh, and I forgot to include and I did put this in the total, the long tube headers. We have long tube headers, catted high flow cat headers that were like $3,000 or $4,000. I didn't add that onto that, so let's say $42,413 all in. If you want the extra stuff, the seats were $1,200. The tires and wheels that I got secondhand from Brandon were $800. The rear seat delete was about $200. 600 in the rear bumper, another couple hundred. That's, I mean, you're looking at probably close to somewhere in the neighborhood of $45,000, $46,000 for the whole thing. Okay, but giving you the price there of $40,000 basically, or I'm sorry, $42,413 for the performance build end of it. Now you can do whatever you want with the seats and everything, but if you want to go fast, you want to go as fast as a Demon or faster, depending on how much weight you can get out of your car. That's what it's going to cost you. At the time, used Hellcats were in the 50s, 60s. So this was a performance bargain, considering that, we tuned it down to 1,050 rear wheel horsepower, based on the fact that, this thing with this Whipple at 20 pounds of boost on full kill was making almost 1,400. So we've come down a lot as far as that goes, just to kind of make it drivable on the road. Now, maybe with some drag radials and some big welds or something like that, we could go back up to kill, but I'm just not going to deal with that. I'm going to leave it off kill until we actually need to race something really big like Brandon's Plaid or something like that. But until then, just driving around every day. I've got 1,050 rear wheel horsepower, and you wouldn't even know it driving that this car has that much power. It's very docile. It's very, 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 very easy to drive. The built transmission that Ben had already done, the TR6060, this thing's awesome. What we ended up putting in later that we got a heck of a deal on, that you can add to that complete total of 42. We got a Mantic triple disc billet, full billet clutch that we got kind of a couple of favors were called in. Normally it's a $4,000 or $5,000 clutch. We got it for $1,400. So just calling in some favors, we saved a lot of money on there. You don't have to do the clutch, but on full kill, we were burning through and blowing up factory Hellcat clutches. So we just needed something more. So we went with the Mantic. We had, Eric at Inject Engineering had some favors he called in for us, and we went ahead and we went for it. And again, $1,400 for a $5,000 clutch is nothing, and that clutch will handle all the power we can throw at it forever. There's nothing that we can do. The transmission will go, the rear end will go, all of that will go before that clutch will go. So we got a deal on that, and that was something that we were actually very thrilled to be able to do. It was a long process. I did a lot of the pre-stuff myself, all the exterior stuff, all the changing the bumper, the cleaning. The amount of cleaning this car took, because it had sat outside unused for several years, and it was a mess. So we cleaned it up, lots of elbow grease. I have videos on the channel about when I initially got it, cleaning it up. But that's where you're at, guys. So at the time, the price of a used Hellcat or less, you have 1,050 rear wheel horsepower car. A lot of guys like to get on the internet. I got 1,000 horsepower Challenger, and they're calling it crank horsepower. The thing with dyno 850, low 800s. That's not a 1,000 horsepower car, guys. I'm calling all you guys out that are saying that. I'm calling every one of you out. That's not a 1,000 horsepower car. This is a 1,000 horsepower car. The dyno sheet, you saw it earlier, 1,050 rear wheel horsepower on the bigger 3.25 inch pulley. That's a 1,000 horsepower car. Car's a lot of fun to drive. I just thought I'd give you guys a little bit of something extra, a little bit different today. I've gotten a lot of messages on this as far as how much did it cost to build a Challenger? How much did it cost when, there it is, man, everything. I just basically showed you the receipts from Injected Engineering that, we went ahead and, put everything public. We don't care. Like, everybody needs to know. So don't give up on your Challenger. If you want a Hellcat, just build one maybe. I don't know the difference, what it would cost for a converter and automatic car, but it can't be much more than with the billet clutch that I have in the TR6060. So go for it, man. Like, you'll be, way better off in the long run from a performance standpoint building one rather than buying a used Hellcat. Now, I don't know with current prices, they may have come down in the 40s. If they do, that's, a hard sell. But when we built this thing, they were still in the 50s, almost 60s, especially for the manual. So that'll be it for today, guys. Again, like, share, and subscribe if you help. It helps us bring you more content like this. Again, I have a Challenger, I have a C10 truck, I have a Mustang Mach 1. We have different things that we're going to be bringing on the channel, but I've been getting a lot of questions about how much did it cost to build this thing. So I just took the time today to just pull it out of the garage, drive it around a little bit, and then give you guys this video on the full build cost and just show you the receipts to be completely transparent with you. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for stopping by today, and we'll see you next time.